Maybe you're between big launches, or you have scheduled and you're getting through a huge week of batching and creating content, or maybe you're just completely covered up in client work. But if you're like me, you've looked up and all of a sudden 6 days have passed since the last time you sent out that email newsletter to your list, and it's time again. If that's ever happened to you, you look up and you realize it's time again to send an email broadcast out to your email list, this video is for you. I think we've all learned that we've got to algorithm proof our businesses, and we can't just build our businesses on borrowed land on social media outlets that we don't own. Email marketing is absolutely worth us doubling down on as creative small business owners and going all in. If not, we are missing out, because email is 40% times more likely to result in a sale than social media and even a lot of social media platforms combined. In this video, I'm going to give you 45 different email newsletter content ideas that you can send out to your list. Couple those with even just one launch where you're sending about 6 to 8 weeks worth of pre-launch content before you move into that launch, and voila, there you have it, an entire year's worth of content ready to go. I have heard from y'all, people like Laura, who said that she struggles a little bit with coming up with a story to tell or figuring out what's newsworthy in your business. What do you even have worth talking about and sending out an email? Well, my big promise is that you will at least have 10 takeaway ideas of emails that you can send to the next 10 weeks to your email list after watching this video, so let's go. Okay, the strategy that I'm unpacking in this video is going to work best if you are a business that's playing more to the long game of your email marketing strategy. So you're really looking to build that relationship with your list, have a relationship that's 2 years, 5 years, even more than that maybe. If that is more your style and your strategy isn't like a daily offer email going out, then I think you'll like this. Also, welcome to my channel. If we haven't met yet, my name is Ashlyn Carter. I'm a conversion copywriter and launch strategist for creative small businesses, because not knowing what to say should not be what's holding you back from making sales. Hit the like button if this is what you need and you think you could grab at least 10 ideas from these 45 I'm about to go through, and let's hit it. I'm gonna divvy these ideas up into 3 sections. Number 1, serving focused emails. I remember exactly where I was almost 1 full year in my business at a peer-led mastermind in Savannah, Georgia with some girlfriends, and I was sitting on the floor and I just burst out into tears because I realized I had spent the entire first year of having a copywriting business cranking out email content and sending emails out to other people's lists and not mine. I committed right then in January 2017 to send out 52 emails that year to my list, and I'm proud to say I've done that or more every year since. If anything, since then, we've just seen that email continues to be a very fast medium. Trust is the biggest currency that you have with your email list. Every time you send out an email, you are delivering on that promise that you made to them when they first signed up to hear from you. In this serving batch of ideas that I want to give you, I wanted to remind you of the speed of emails and also what that currency is, because about 42% of emails are opened on our phones. So if you're able to really serve up quick content and get it right to people when they need it, that's something that can be so impactful as they are getting hundreds of emails a day. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna pop up these 14 ideas over the side for you to look at. And what I want you to do is try some of these, because I know I talk about funnels and email sequences and autoresponders a lot over here, but do not, hear me on this, do not let the complexity of not having all of those funnels and automation sequences built out hold you back from at least doing this, okay? Try to send these out as you build your welcome sequence out. We have a welcome sequence template in my shop that may even help you out with that. But I can't tell you enough how important it is for you to at least just commit to sending out these broadcasts. Even some of the very best, brightest direct response copywriters that I learned from swear by sending out broadcasts, even though you could have automations up and going. And that is exactly how I feel. I've seen with far too many students and clients that sometimes the analysis paralysis of not having everything spinning like a top holds you back from even starting that email list or starting to send regular emails, and I don't want that to happen to you. Comment below if that analysis paralysis of not having everything built out has ever made you, maybe with email or anything else, held you back from doing just the next thing. If that's you, this also helps me. Just remember that there is somebody out there that doesn't have everything all perfect, but they're going ahead and they're showing up and they're doing it imperfectly. They're sending those emails and they're making more impact and maybe more income because they're not afraid to do it. And don't let that fear of not having everything all perfectly ironed out and smooth hold you back from even sending some of these. Let me roll through these ideas. I think a contest or a giveaway is always a great way to serve. Don't forget about that weekly hero piece of content. I teach that inside Prime to Launch, but sending out that regular rhythmic piece of content is absolutely serving. Related to that, you could give a tutorial, a hack, a quick over my shoulder. What if you just popped a Loom video into the body of the email, and instead of sending them off to a piece of content, you embedded that tutorial right in the email? Always send out your latest freebies. I've done this one before too, a freebie roundup. One time, it was a while back, I did the top freebies I found that shouldn't be free, and people really appreciated that. So maybe send out something like that. An annual survey or quarterly survey or some type of check-in with your audience absolutely needs to be on your list. You could also do an A/B question, so giving them an opportunity to cast a vote and just linking those two things. So instead of a survey where they're hopping to and spending some more time on a form, you could either just simply ask them a question, ask them to hit respond, or give them an opportunity to click one of two links, have them vote that way. Giving a paradigm shift is a great way to serve, or a new way to look at things. Related to that, if you can come in as the expert and tip that sacred cow, maybe there is a belief that I swear it is just gospel truth, it has to be this way, but you're going to come in as the expert and say, actually, that's not true. You're believing something that is completely wrong. Let me show you. I have the proof. I love getting emails like that blow my mind and make me think, oh my gosh, I've never thought of it that way before, but they're right. That's a great way to serve your audience. And then finally, a remix or a roundup post of some of your best content that you've put out, or even just what you've put out in the past month or so. Okay, that's bucket number one. We're going to move to number two, more story-driven email newsletter content. As I'm recording this, I'm halfway through pregnancy. Ta-da! Which means I wake up every single night around 3 a.m. absolutely famished and looking for a snack. I actually spend a good bit of time not on social media at all. I love social media breaks, but do you know what tends to never go away? I always have my personal inbox on my phone. I don't check email from my business on my phone, but I love a good personal inbox sweep. According to a McKinsey survey, about 91% of people check their email every day, and like I said earlier, almost half of us are looking at it on our phones. Why am I saying all this? Because I want you to write to me, the person that is at 3:30 in the morning, sitting on the couch, eating a snack, can't go back to bed, sitting with their dogs, and just scrolling through email. Write to that person. Every email that you send out, whether it is broadcast or an automation, is an emotional deposit or a withdrawal in somebody's life. Story-driven emails are so important because as you build that know, like, trust, people just want to hear from other people, and you need to tell them why you give a darn about doing all this. I've got 17 different email broadcast ideas for this section that I'm going to put up over the side. For the sake of time, I'm not going to explain all 17, but I want you to start kind of being a pattern recognizer. A lot of times I'm either reading a book or watching a TV show and something will happen and I'll think, there is a good hook or a story that I can tell in an email. Here's another little ninja trick I do. At the end of every day, I try to do what I call story banking and essentially unpack one story or thing that has happened or anecdote I've run into. I put it into an Asana file, and so I just have a record and a database of just random ideas. So when I sit down to write that email newsletter, if I'm totally having writer's block, I can at least look back at this and think, oh my gosh, yes, I wanted to tell that thing that happened when I was watching that show. Sometimes stories are hard to come up with on the spot, so you might as well start collecting them. Then you can take that back to the PASCAL copywriting formula that I talked about in last week's video to structure your email newsletters, and there you have that intro that you can drop people into in the middle of the rising action. Two troubleshooting questions I want to address here because I feel like I get asked, how many emails should I send? Should I send monthly? Should I send weekly? Should I send daily? I have found typically the people that I want to hear from monthly, I wouldn't mind hearing from weekly, and if I wouldn't mind hearing from them weekly, it probably would be okay if they sent me a couple of times a week an email. That's my opinion, but I would at least recommend not sending monthly, sending more than just monthly, and offering people a choice. So they can hear from you monthly, but if they would like to hear from you on a more regular basis, they have that opportunity as well. But just give them the choice. The second thing is length. I get a lot of times people say, how long should my emails be? Or you're a copywriter, your emails are kind of long. Yeah, copywriting isn't necessarily about how absolutely fast and direct can you make something. For every person that says, can you keep your email shorter, there's going to be 10 people that say, I feel like you're having a conversation with me. So my advice on this is to alternate. Send out different types of emails to your list. That's usually what I do. And then also test it. So you may find one format works better with your audience. I found the best approach to this is to alternate. Send some longer form emails and then also send some shorter forms as well. By the way, I have a video, I'll link it below, where I talk about how to never run out of things to say in all of your content. So that may help you out as well. That brings me to number 3, soft sell email newsletter content. Okay, so the ROI on email is still incredibly high. I am just learning how to invest money, but here's what I do know. Email has an ROI of about 42 to 1. So if I could invest $1 into something and get 42 back, I'm gonna do it. Email is absolutely worth spending on, and when I say soft sell, I'm not talking about a launch campaign, so I'm talking about for all of these email newsletter content ideas when you're not in a launch season, what to send out. These type of emails are not purely transactional, but we are kind of hinting and breadcrumbing in their head that yes, you do this awesome thing and people pay you for it. All right, I'll throw these 8 ideas up over to the site as well. Don't be afraid to share with them other platforms that you're on. If you share your client work there, give me some behind the scenes. I want to see what projects you're working on, and tell me some takeaways that I can even implement in my own life and business from anything that you've got going on. Absolutely share your media hits whenever you get those. I also think a recap of your business or a launch is a great thing to send out. I got an example last year from Cultivate What Matters that made it into my swipe file folder because I thought it was a great idea. Okay, I hope you screenshotted away through that, and don't forget, look down below. I have a swipe file of 42 different email subject line templates that you can use, mix and match with these, and then hopefully crank out those email broadcasts a lot faster. Now you have an entire year's worth of email newsletter content ideas to send out to your list when you're not in launch. But how do you structure those emails? Well, make sure you watch the next video I've got teed up for you where I'm taking you through my email newsletter copywriting template. If you liked this video and it helped you out, then let me know by hitting like and subscribing. That always helps us out as well. And most importantly, comment below 10 if you at least have 10 different ideas for the next 10 weeks that you can send out to your email list. That was my hope. Here's to working from a place of more rest, less hustle, and I'll see you in the next video.